What's happening, guys? Paladin here, and welcome to another video. Today, as promised, I'm gonna show you an updated list for branded Despia, which is basically the only variant that I haven't updated yet on the channel for the post-dualist Nexus format. I wanted to actually make some, more testing in the final list, let's say, and insert some non-engine stuff, because I believe that this format you need plenty of non-engine stuff in the main to actually be able to counter the meta decks, because the format post-dualist Nexus is way different than before. Castera is not really dominating as much as before. Alright, it's not that popular because people are selling the deck because they actually are afraid of the ban list, which is natural, and most of them got tired of it, bored of it, and we see other stuff like purely, for example, to rise on the tier lists, Infernable Knights and shit like that. So as I said, I tried to make the list as flexible as possible, so it won't miss combo pieces, but at the same time it will have let's say space for non-engine stuff that you may need this format in order to counter the meta. Let's go straight to the list, and I will explain card by card my choices and why I'm running certain stuff. So I will start with this one. I wanted in the start to play a larger bestial engine. Like, the engine right now is crazy, it's fucking powerful, like you see it yourselves. The problem is that right now, because of stuff like Manadium or other decks, people are playing Droll in the main, and you don't want to actually lose to Droll. This deck naturally doesn't lose to Droll, like, let's be honest here. So I didn't really want to lose to Droll, and that's basically why I don't run Tragedy in the Foolish Burial, because I don't want to get Droll there. Right now Droll is very popular, and as you can see, I also run it in the main. I will get straight into that in a little bit. So I chose to make some space for other stuff, as I said, non-engine. So I had to actually reduce the bestial ratios. So I only go with Lubellion and Saronir for now, the two most, let's say, useful when it comes to branded, because they help, with the engine and the graveyard effects and stuff. So I only kept these two, 1 and 1. 3 Albers is kind of standard, as you know. 3 Fallen of Albaz. Albaz is good, you can get rid of stuff like Rise Heart and shit, but also you kind of want it in hand in cases when your brand diffusion gets asked, because having access to our Cartesia is not that difficult, to be honest. So at least you can go into the mirror trade with Cartesia if your brand diffusion gets asked. So 3 Fallen of Albaz, 2 is not incorrect. Like, I played 2 in the start, I won't lie. There were though some cases that I kind of missed the third one, so I was like, alright, now we will run 3 and see how this goes. 2 and 3, it's fine. Like, if you want to play 2, you can play 2. There's no problem with that. It's just a preference, like my own preference. 2 Cartesias, this is the correct ratio, in my opinion. Like, as I said, you want the card generally. You want to have access to the card. 1 Quem, I believe that 1 is enough. Many people like to play actually 2. I think that 2 is not really necessary, at least for now, because the deck has all the combo pieces. Let's say all the cards available, like all the cards are at 3. You don't really need to, let's say, play more than 1 Quem, because it may conflict with, let's say, other normal summons, and she will get stuck in hand for no fucking reason. You don't want to actually clog, let's say. 1 Albion Dragon, pretty standard, as you can see here. one ad libitum. This guy is mostly, I run this guy mostly for the combo, for the triple mirror jade banish effect. That you bring the drag, you do his effect, you bring it back with Quem, do mirror jade effect again, then you go for Chimera with red and bring mirror jade again back. Like you have three banishes with mirror jade. And the third one is because of this guy here. One Mercurier, this guy can be searched with Branded Lost. It's another negate, it's a monster negate. Like, you know that this deck misses negates. So having, let's say, a Veiler-like effect, it doesn't hurt at all. And this guy also gives you access to Rimbram, so why the fuck not? Now for the non-engine monsters. I play 3 draws. The card, this format is insane. You will see it in many lists. Many people have topped with the card in these past 2 weeks, let's say. So in my opinion, it's maybe the best hand trap to run right now. And I didn't want to actually side it. When I play, I really don't want to give my opponent away, give them the game 1, because I didn't main something. I want to have as many, let's say, weapons as possible in the main, and Droll is one of them. It's good versus Manadium, like it can almost fucking stop them completely sometimes, depending on their hand, but it does hurt, like 100%. They add a lot. And it's not about their board that's full of negates. It's the fucking FTK that they have with the shitty Calamity bullshit. So 3 draws, in my opinion, are useful in the main. You can side it like this list is. Let's say that this list is a sample list. If in your locals you play against other stuff, you can play other hand traps. Like if you have plenty of Despia and you play plenty of mirrors, you can just play Blossom instead of Droll if you don't have any Maradium, let's say. But this list is mostly made for, let's say, regional level and above. It's made after testing against almost all the meta decks. My testing, my experience, of course. Alright, so you can change whatever you think that it may not be useful to you. 3 Radiance. The Kaiju is fucking good. It can get rid of shit like Noir, because this deck in its engine doesn't have an out to Noir. You will lose to it. Like the Mirror Jade end phase effect from the graveyard may not even be used at all. Like they're not that idiots to allow that. So you need another out in the main. And the Kaiju is pretty good on that part. So the Kaiju, the dark one, basically is the best in my opinion for this deck, because you can fuse with it. Worst case scenario. So Radiant can also get rid of stuff like a Rise Heart that you may fucking hate, or a non-negate like Baron or other bullshit that people play this format. I also play 1 Dark Magician, because I want to Castora is still in the format. Like we haven't had a ban list yet, so Castora is there. Like in my opinion, the 2 best decks right now are Castora and Purely, and then all the others. Those 2 decks are the 2 decks to beat. Castora may be more, let's say, popular right now, post ban list. Purely, it may be the best deck. I'm not sure. It depends on what Konami will hit. Like I expect other stuff also get hit, like for example Magnamut, let's say. I don't know if they will do it though, because they have the Megatins afterwards, like in September, so I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't hit it. But let's say post ban list Purely will be, if not the best deck, again in the top 2 or 3. So I kept the Dark Magician in, first of all because you can go for Dragoon going first, if they happen to shifter you in a Castera matchup, and going second, Dragoon can actually clear the board, the Castera board. So it's really strong in this deck. I would keep Dark Magician in the main. Many of you will ask me, I know that for sure, why I don't play Duality for the Dark Magician. Duality is not good going second, first of all. And secondly, the card may be fucking good because you can have Dragoon before you play, you activate your Branded Fusion, and it can protect you from Ash Blossom. But the problem is that it's not searchable. Like in my testings, and many of you know that because I also tested the card when it came out, when it was announced for the TCG on Twitch. It's not guaranteed in hand because, as I said, it's not searchable. So I decided to actually leave it out of the list. At least for now. I don't know what will happen in the future, like if we will find a way to actually search it. But in my opinion, it's better not in the main for now. I prefer another Servant because worst case scenario, if you don't get asked, it can actually provide you with more resources or a better board. Like let's say it can dump Lulu, provide you with Quem, Cartesia, or shit like that. So 3 Another Servants, in my opinion, are better than Duality right now. Many people run the card because they play the Puppet Lock, with Maximus and shit. I don't. Personally, I don't. Like, I fucking hate to go second and have in hand shit like Maximus or a Puppet. Like, I'm completely -1 card. And Shifter is around and all that shit. And the Bestials and whatever. So I'm not a fan. I've tried it. I'm not a fan, especially when it comes to bigger events, because they will fucking throw bestials at you. In the mirror, it's fucking dangerous. And the Puppet Lock, if it gets stopped, you're fucked, like completely. This is my opinion. You don't have to follow it. This is my opinion, though. Standard 3 branded fusions, 3 branded openings, best cards, best spells, 1 lost. This card is insane, especially going second if you have this on board. If they let it go through and you have Branded Fusion, you fuck them completely, whatever board they have, because you can also chain block. 1 branded in red, this card offers you a Chimera going first. It's not bad because you can grab a Fallen of Albaz, worst case scenario, go for your fusion if you want. Deployment, going first, amazing. It gives you Cartesia for free on board. Going second, you can actually bait your opponent's bullshit with Fallen of Albaz, like let's say a Omni-Negate, for example, or whatever. I decided now for this card to play 3 Super Polis in the main. I'm actually testing this in other variants also. I liked it also in Branded Tier, also in the Chimera variant. And if you have many targets in the extra, it's fucking insane. Like this shit can actually stop the Manadium FTK. Because and the best target is Drago Equist here. Like this guy is fucking insane, because they end up on Baron, on Dispater, or bullshit like that. You just throw Super Poly, and they can't go for the FTK because you can grab their Baron and Crimson and tell them to fuck off. So this guy is pretty good, and he's also good in Dragon League matchups because they also play Baron and they also play Dispater. So you can also use it in that matchup, although we are running the Borealos Fusion, Furious Dragon, whatever the fuck its name is, that is also very good in that matchup. So 3 Super Polis are fucking insane in my opinion. We also have run Garura, we have Dragon Stapilia, which is also useful in the mirror. So we basically have like 4 targets that are very, very useful versus most of the matchups right now. 1 Call by the Grave. I wish I had this card in hand, like every time my opponents have the Blossom. And 1 branded Retribution, for the recycle from the graveyard to grab spells and shit. This main is made to actually not get hurt from draw at all. That's why I only play these 2 bestials. Many of you will run Tragedy and Foolish Burial, which is correct, but personally I'm kind of afraid to main them because I don't want to get drawled in the Tragedy ad, and after that I can do shit. So I prefer to stay with this list and not get hurt by draw almost at all. It's standard, it's consistent. I tried my best to actually fit in non-engine stuff, like 9 cards for example. It's not easy, because you know that Despia is a deck that it has a very motherfucking large engine. Its engine, it's huge, like it's half a deck if not more. So it's not easy in this deck to actually play non-engine stuff, but they are fucking useful. So and you can do something else because you will fucking lose, especially game one. And why the fuck would you give game one to your opponent for free? Why would you let your opponent FTK you if they play Manadium, for example? Why would you do that? You don't want that to happen. So you play stuff like Droll, Super Police and stuff to actually not lose. As I said, Purely is also popular. Castera is also in the format. So stuff like the Kaiju also will help you get rid of that bullshit and OTK. Let's go to the extra. This is basically the hardest part when you go for deck building in this fucking deck. Like, alright, we play one Dragoon. If Castera wouldn't be in the format with Shifter and shit, I may, not have included this in the deck list. But I believe that for now it's fucking necessary. So in my opinion, better run it for now. If Castera gets the dick, you can remove it. But for now it's very good. It can also help with shit like Labyrinth and decks that target. 2 Mirror Jades, pretty standard. 2 Albions here, 1 Lubellion. One of the new Albion Dragon. This guy is not that useful in strategies that don't do the lock, but he can actually save your ass in game 2, or let's say, or whatever, because you can give one monster to your opponent and they cannot fucking evenly you or Lightning Storm or other bullshit that they may run. So this guy, and he can also, bring back stuff like Fallen of Albas from the graveyard and let's say, help you control your opponent's plays with the graveyard stuff. One Rimbram, I didn't find this shit that necessary because we have Dragoon, let's say, going second, but it's always good to have this in the extra just in case. And it's another interruption, another negate, so why the fuck not? I prefer this in the list that I run the full bestial package because the Rimbram combo. I've showed you the Rimbram combo. This guy over here, it's like the starter. You go for this one, then you go for Lubellion, banish Mercurier, add Cartesia, and you go on from there. There are plenty of videos on the channel, so feel free to watch them. One Granignol, the duality build runs 2. I prefer 1. 1 is fine for now. It's not that I have the space. If I wouldn't run Super Poly, yeah, sure, I would run 2, but 1 is enough in my opinion for now. One Chimera, pretty standard. One Dragostaplia. Dragostaplia is not a Super Poly target also. It's like, it's useful for the Quem combo with the Mirror Jade that you bring back from the graveyard and shit. So this guy here is basically included in the combo stuff. The clear Super Poly targets are Drago Equist, Borreload, and Garura, that is also good that you can jump with stuff like Granignol, to add back to draw one card. And of course one Lulu, she's good with Nadir Servant. I've showed you the combo, like if your Branded Fusion gets asked, you can drop this one, add Fallen of Albaz, special summon Cartesia, and you have a fucking Mirror Jade without going for the risky Maximus play. There is no space for other synchros, and to be honest, you can't really run many synchros here. Like, this is a pure fusion build that locks you into fusions. You can't really summon shit other than fusions turn 1. So this is very standard for now. Now let's go to the most difficult part after the extra, which is the side deck. This part is difficult because everybody has different locals. That like, let's say in your locals you may have plenty of Despia. On another local, some people, others have plenty of Manadium. Others have plenty of Caster and whatever. So this is not standard. This part actually depends on what people play on your locals. If they play plenty of Caster and shit, play board wipes, play, other stuff. This is basically made out of the, let's say, studying the meta. Like, you play the Herald, for example, here, this spell here to counter purely. You play Thrust. Thrust is basically good versus everything in every local, in whatever. Like you have two standard targets in the side, like you have Herald and Evenly, which are very, very fucking strong. It can also add Nadir, it can also add Bright Fusion, and other stuff going second. So Thrust is probably, along with the Backrow Hate, the most standard side deck options. Like, I know that many of you will ask me, is this the best side deck? It's not, because it actually depends on what people play in your area. If they play another deck, you change your side deck. This is not standard. This is basically from my experience, from what people play here, and you know what I mean. So I'd go with 2 Magnas, 1 Druids. 3 Magnas is also not bad. I just chose to play Druids going second because it can be an actual fucking good bait versus boards that have Omni negates. Like, you add Druids with Rebellion and they have to fucking negate it, because or else you will pop their stuff. 3 Magnas are not bad though, especially going second. They can add you Rebellion and keep your engine going. 3 Heralds, as I said, this is for purely. People played this before purely also got hit in before the SIAC, the Cyberstorm Access came out. Another thing you can do is like play 3 Thrusts and 1 Dark Ruler here, just to have a searchable blowout card, or like another board wipe, like let's say a Dark Hole or a Lightning Storm. That wouldn't be bad. I just, as I said, side deck is not standard. It's up to you, depending on what people play here, there. So that, and I also play Backrow Hate because Labyrinth fucking sucks. I fucking hate that deck. Floodgates fucking suck. And these cards here are basically for backrow decks. You don't want to play shit like Gozan or whatever on you, or there can only be one, or shit like that, or skill drains, let's say. So you play this and save your ass from their bullshit. Evenly standard. Some people play Thrust in the main because it searches the trap that copies Branded Fusion in your opponent's turn. It's not a bad play, but it's kind of slow. I don't know, guys. Like I don't know if I would play that. It's kind of slow in my eyes. If you want to play it, go ahead and do that. But for me, at least, it's not my preference. Let's say, as I said, there are no wrong plays, no wrong techs. It always depends on what people play in your area, your play style, what you want to do with the deck. Like, for example, if you don't have Manadiums, let's say in your locals, you can play, and you have plenty of Dragon Link, let's say, or other bullshit, play more Bestials. If let's say you play something else, you can play another hand trap instead of Droll, or you know what I mean. You know where this is going. So this is the list, my personal list, from my testings. I've tested this online, to be honest. We will get a list probably at the end of the month, inside this month, September, I don't fucking know. So you will 100% get another update. But for now, this is kind of optimal, in my opinion, like the main. There's no fucking reason to play more Bestials, because as I said, you will lose to Droll. Like if you play more Lubellions, for example. The only card here that loses to Droll is Nadir Servant. The only fucking card. Like you don't want to get Droll and have it in hand, but it's one of the best, if not the best deck to play when you get asked. Like many lists in the OCG, if not all, play this card. I believe that the World Championship one also played this card at 3. So, in my opinion, it's a very, very good deck. I've showed you the combo. You can find the combo here on the channel. So the main is pretty standard, as I told you. Other texts that you may include if you want are Book of Moon or Eclipse, droplets, stuff like that. But it always depends on what people in your area play, as I said. So in my opinion, the engine is standard. The non-engine is not, because it depends on what people play where you are. So this is my main, my extra, my side. The side is not standard. This is basically based on what people play here. Like people play purely here. For example, I want to have Herald, I want to have the Kaiju in the main, I want to have stuff like that. If you have more backlog decks, play Lightning Storms, play other shit. So this is the only non-standard, let's say, part of this deck. The extra is very tight. Sometimes I wish that we would actually play 20 cards, not 15. But that's not gonna happen. So fuck them. And there are, many other small differences. Like many people prefer to Fallen of Albaz. I play 3. Others play 2 QM. I prefer to play 1, for example. These are preferences mostly. There is not correct ratio. Like the correct ratio is 3 Albert, 3 Brand Fusions. Those are the standard 3 offs. The rest are like 50-50, or if you play 1 or 2. I'd really like to hear from you your opinion in the comments down below. I personally find this very solid. To be honest, I won't lie. Whatever changes I may do, of course, I will make a video instantly and let you know, or whatever new combos or stuff. You know me. I always try to provide you with the best content possible, the best decks, the best combos. There will be more videos. Like you will also have a replay video for this one, to see how the deck rolls versus the meta. And after that, we will also have discussions, maybe some more live videos here on YouTube. I probably stream here, like on YouTube, mostly when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! And not Twitch. At least for now, I believe that it's better, and most of you kind of prefer YouTube compared to Twitch. Many of you don't even have an account there, so it's kind of bad for you guys to lose the content because you don't have an account in another platform. But obviously, even if I was streaming on Twitch, you would have the VODs here. So this is the list. I'd love to hear your opinion on this. If you have any suggestions or stuff that you may change in the main or the extra and stuff, feel free to comment down below. I know that many of you play the Puppet Lock. I'm not judging. I find it that a preference. I choose not to play it. I'm not saying it's correct or false or whatever. It's a preference. So no need to argue about that. And to be honest, I will close with this. I see many people fighting online about builds and decks and combos and other shit. Guys, you play the same fucking deck. Arguing and fighting and calling each other names and bullshit like that is not gonna help you when it comes to the deck. Like in my opinion, better go and help each other, test with each other. That those shits are not gonna help you. So this is pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Comment down below whatever you want to say, suggestions, or if you want other stuff, I will gladly help or offer my opinion if you want. I don't know. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and see you next time.